Hello and welcome to Stage 2 of End of the Road, where we are racing to earn our own Bugatti Bolide. This is quite the car. Day 1 was quite simple, and Day 2 we're going to follow what we were doing in Day 1, which is only do what you have to do. So that means this time I'm letting everybody pass me because it said nothing about winning. Therefore, lose. And you might as well lose big, like I'm going to come in last place. So, drifting here, at first I was a little bit concerned about this, but there's nothing about no off track. I thought that was going to get me a bunch of drifting. Apparently not. So, just sliding in a skid like that, probably because I had brakes on. You need to stay on the gas when you throw it sideways, like that. So, you could just throw this around sideways wherever you want to. Really not a difficult stage at all, because you just need to finish and get a whole bunch of skidding in, basically. So there you go. You know, you can see this isn't going to be very difficult at all. The Parabolica is probably a good corner for stuff. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But again, who cares? Like, it's still have instant servicing because I started this kind of late. And oh, people always ask me this. I didn't bring it up in Stage 1. Because I'm in Canada, the event starts for me on December 23rd. So that's how I finished Stage 1 on December 23rd, and then Stage 2 unlocks for me shortly after Stage 1 actually started. You know, it's all about time zones. So there you go. You can see I'm filling this up pretty good. Not a problem. And takes a while to get the hang of this car at yes, you know, I'm gonna have some fun, but anyhow, it takes a while to get a hang of this car here because, well, it's a pretty high-speed track. So gonna have to get on the brakes ridiculously early to keep this thing on the track, which they're probably gonna make us do at some point. But here I want to push someone into the wall, and all these guys are pretty slow. So who's my victim? Here he is. There's my victim. Oh boy, I'm sure in real life we'd both be dead. Anyhow, I sped through that a little bit because I'm just getting myself back into last place, which is kind of boring to watch. Pretty well have all of the drifting in already. And now, people who know me, if you've been on my channel before, a lot of people are going to be noticing something. Yes, my voice sounds a bit off. No, I actually feel fine. Just kind of late to bed, early to rise. Couldn't really sleep, so I'm just doing some videos to get them done. I kind of had a late start to this. Christmas season and all that, different things going on. So I'm just getting it done. I feel fine, so I don't think I'm sick. But people often ask me if I feel okay. Yeah, I feel fine. It's just a little bit of a froggy sounding throat. So maybe I'll try to use my low register, because my low register seems to be pretty much there. And you know what? Let's just speed through the rest of this. There's really nothing else to see and nothing else I can tell you, so there we go. Too much playing around, didn't get last place. Second race of Stage 2. And most of Stage 2 is not a problem here. This one, we're going to be doing some really high-speed skipping here. This one set the fastest lap. And often in these set the fastest laps, you just get considered first place no matter what happens. Not this time. So I'm going to back up just on the other side of the line here. I've done a test. The first guy is going to pass at about 157. We're traveling 16 times normal speed here. So I'm getting myself really in last place, just waiting until I'm going to get lapped. And you'll see that. He's just coming up behind me now. And if you just quit the race and look at the lap times, I noticed that I was seeing lap times 130, 132. But then when you actually finish the event, the time to beat for me was actually more like 126. So anyways, I'm comfortably in last place. Sounds ridiculous, but that's what you want to do. This is how you keep, oops, that's what I was talking about, the breaking points. That's what you want to do. You want to finish last so that the bots don't get harder going forward. So what I need to be watching for here is whenever everyone starts to finish their next lap, For some reason, that's the way I'm not going to see anything for a while. So you got to really pay attention to when those lap times are appearing and put in a good lap at that point. But not much better than you have to. So I'm still watching for those lap times to be appearing. And it's probably going to be a little ways into the next lap. And so this next lap, I really need to do a decent job. Honestly, it's not hard because you can be taking shortcuts, you can be doing some tricks. Man, you got to get on the brakes early in this car. So there we go. There's some lap time showing up. And just got to keep your eyes on that. I came in there with way too much steam. So I'm shooting for the 126. And we'll just see what happens here as the time starts showing up to see how much I have to tweak that. Because I was almost getting lapped, I've got a nice clear track in front of me. Oh, that was better. I didn't blow that one that time. Okay, there's the time starting to appear. And you'll notice that the last time is going to be right around 126. And that seems to be consistent. And I do find it funny that if I just quit the race and look at the times, they're not that big. And so, I don't know why that is the way it is, but that's the way it is. And blasting through one of my favorite chicanes in the game. I love that chicane. And the bots always break at the exit of that chicane, which is just so stupid. But anyhow, that's where you make up an awful lot of time. If you've got assists on, you're probably being forced to brake there as well, which is where you make up a lot of time. So I've got a lot of extra time. So I'm going to be giving up some time here. I don't want to risk failing this stage, but I have a lot of extra time. So I'm just going to get across here about when I need to. There we go, that's good. And I'm actually going to scroll through a little bit here and just take a look at the times. And you can see, 126 is what I was facing. So, yeah, that was okay. Not bad at all. All right, moving on to race 3 of stage 2. And again, not much difficulty. I didn't find any of this really difficult, but this one's interesting. I tried passing all 8 cars and then letting them pass me back, but then you end up with the problem of finishing in time. It's always a question of how they're going to do this. Like, at first I thought, well, this race might end as soon as you pass the 8th car. We've had that in the past. No. This one only ends when you cross the start-finish line. So actually, oh, nuts. Oh, well, don't do that. The time requirement in this particular race is difficult. And there's lots of things you can be doing. You don't have to worry about... You can take shortcuts if you want to. I forget if it said no off-track or not. I'm going to just mostly keep it on track. There, I probably went off track for a tiny bit. In early stages, I've noticed when it does say no off track, you still get at least a full second of off track. So, and that's the way it is in most of these events these days. Very rarely does it instantly fail you. Oh, there we go. That's a better time on the chicane there too. You want to get those braking points accurate because that's what you gain in the bots, because they really wreck the corners. That's always where we find our advantage. So, oops, silly Enzo. I think that was an Enzo. He should have been on the gas already. So yes, with this particular stage, unfortunately, you are forced to have a higher place finish than you want to. Like, I've got one more car to pass, and that's going to force me to finish in second place. I tried to let him... There's 2 Venoms at the front here. And so I tried to let the third place car pass me back. Yeah, you just can't finish in time. So that's just the way it's going to be. Well, let's just see here. Blasting fast forward. Let's take the big cut. That's a crazy cut you can take. See what I'm saying? You can save a lot of time on this if you want to. You can take another huge cut coming up here if you need to. Now, you could do this thing all on track, but I thought, why bother? I don't have to. All right, so I got hooked up with this guy. So I took a couple of big cuts, and you're gonna need to do stuff like that if you want to keep your upgrades low. So if you got a problem with that, no worries, man. If you don't want to take any shortcuts at all, just spend more currency. just a few hundred gold. That's all that should cost you at some point in this event. And if you want to spend an extra few hundred gold you don't have to spend, that's fine with me. I don't want to. I could easily afford it, but I'm doing this to try to help people who don't have a pile of currency. So that's why I'm trying to do this on the cheap and show you guys how it's done. So let's check out that time. I'm not going to really stress this too much. I was going to try to wreck this guy going across the line. That's not bad. So, I had an extra 5-6 seconds. Oh well. Okay, last race of stage 2. This one is tricky because it says no off track. Yeah, sort of. You get 1 full second of off track here. But, so if you're having trouble, just be careful where you spend it. You can plan where to spend it, like we could spend it right at the very first chicane, like this. Blast right through this. Okay, well, that probably shaved like 3 seconds off of my overall time, I'm guessing. You need to be on the brakes just at the exit of this corner. Get on those brakes stupid early in this car. Again, I got no upgrades though, and oh, that was not good. Okay, well, I probably lost a half second to a second on that corner. Okay, that was good. You can just see on the brakes really early, but then you get on the gas early. As a general rule, you want to be back into the gas at the midpoint of the corner. If you can't get on the gas that early, you were braking too late. Here, I started braking at the bridge. Good grief. But I want to be on the gas at the entrance of the chicane and stay full throttle all the way through it. Parabolica, shortly after we go under this overpass, on those brakes. On those brakes, there's an overhead thing on the right. You want to be into the gas right about as you're going under that. So I was a little bit late. I'll have to work on my braking point. And I've got extra time, but I'm not going to mess with this too much. I just don't want to finish with like tons on the clock. I'm happy with that. That's good. So there you go, guys. Please like, please subscribe. Here's a playlist link and something else for fun. And I'll catch you next time on the next stage. Bye-bye.